Welcome to this week's energy forecast. I'm Sarah Louise. I'm an intuitive, a reader of the cosmic weather, and I'm here to share with you my take on what's coming up this week. So what energy is going to be around and how you can best navigate yourself through the week. So I'm like, praise the Lord, and I'm not religious in that way, but praise the Lord, praise the gods, like happy freaking days, because I sat down to channel our energy forecast, and I've done this for a long time now, and recently there has been no break. As in every time I sit down and I start channeling, I'm like, oh, it starts to feel uncomfortable, and I'm like, oh, there's challenge and there's tense and there's weird energy and there's like anxiety and all of that, and there's shifting and there's changing, and we're going to all have to start really kind of adapting and aligning, and you know, that could feel a bit weird, and we got to step up and do the work. And I'm like, whoa. And last week when I sat down to do our forecast last week, I actually started channeling and doing it, and then I was like, I don't even want to do this right now. Like, I don't want to listen. I don't want to hear this. And this week, I started writing. And I was like, yes. Like, seriously, finally, a week of like, I mean, we know it's crazy, hectic, chaotic out there in that, you know, cosmic weather, but it just felt easier. It was like, it wasn't like weird, super weird. It was like, oh, it's okay. Like, this week's all right. Like, it feels quite kind and quite calm and quite heart opening and just chill. It felt quite chill. And I was like, oh. And it felt like, you know, like there's been a lot of resistance. And I don't know if this Mercury retrograde was more intense than others, but it was like this holding back. And next week it just felt flow, and I was like, I wonder what's shifting. And I was looking at some of the astrology, and it was like, oh, Mercury comes out of retrograde on the 27th, and I was like, oh, cool. Because that, again, it's like we get kind of, there's more flowy energy, and there's not so much resistance, and you know, like sometimes you feel like you're pushing and you know, you're not getting anywhere. That's how it's felt for a lot of people. And this week that shifts, that changes, and it's like, oh, some forward momentum, some flow, some ease, like take a breath, like chill, be kind, be calm. And I'm like, oh, wonderful. Like, how welcome is that? And I know because I work with a lot of people, and you know, lots of you send me messages, and I know lots of people have had really challenging times, and you know, we're being really asked to dig deep, look inside, and it's gone on for a long time. And I feel like we're just finally, it's like we've been deep in the dark woods, and finally we see a little bit of light coming through the trees, and we know that we're on the last bit, and we know we're on the home run. And you know, it's quite bizarre for me to be saying this, because we're coming up, you know, we've just had that last full moon, and we're heading into eclipse season, which is normally like strap up, buckle in, like it's going to get super like hectic and tough. And maybe that's what's going to come through next week, but for this week it's totally not that energy. It's like, heal, take it easy, be kind, like, whew. So how welcome is that? Yeah, how welcome is that for us all? Yeah. So when I was channeling through, what I felt was that many people are going to be coming out of some kind of big lessons and some big kind of turning points. And it's very easy when we're in kind of change, and when we're in like a lesson, and when we're in a growth period, and you know, transition and transformation, that, you know, we only see kind of like one side of a story. Yeah, so we may be stuck in like the hardship and the pain and the, you know. But I wanted to remind you, and this is what really came through in our channeling, was that There's 12 universal laws. And if we lived by these universal laws and truly kind of, you know, was aligned and remembering them all and, you know, lived in alignment with each of them, we would be living here super peacefully, like really in flow. Yeah. Have a look at them. Lots of people have done a lot of work around them. But, you know, the law of abundance and, you know, the law of gravity, the law of nature. And there was law, I call it law number 10, and many people would take it as 10, is the law of polarity. And I wanted to just remind you of that this week. The law of polarity, that there's always two sides of a coin. There's always two sides to everything. There is always the light and the dark, the good and the bad. You know, everything in this earth universe is in polarity. There is always two sides to a coin. Yet as humans, we're really conditioned to see like that negative, the pain, the like, you know, the drama, the, you know, the pain, the negative aspect of things. I don't know why, but we're so conditioned to do this. And we have to really kind of, you know, make ourselves look at the other side of the coin. Like, what's the good in this? Like, because they are always in equal polarity because of this universal law. And I believe that where we find our peace and where we find an ease and a flow in life is if we come into the neutral point. All right, so we've got the real good over there, the real bad over there, yeah, and we come here into the center. Yeah, so we know the good aspects, we know the bad. And I don't like those words good and bad because, you know, nothing, let's change that. Let's go the negative and the positive, two ends of that spectrum. Yeah, and if we can know both of those fully and clearly, and then we can come to the center point. In that center point of a learning, there is no charge, there is no like super excitement, there is no super depression. It's just like, oh yeah, I get that. And if we went through everything and found the neutral point in everything, then, you know, every lesson that we perceived as negative or hard or, you know, not right or wrong, you know, then if we did that process, oh my God, we would all be so much happier. We would all be super peaceful, like really aligned, like, and isn't that an amazing place when we get there? So your homework could be, you know, during this week, while it's pretty cool out there, take one of those recent lessons, you know, take one of those recent lessons and go, okay, how has this benefited? You know, what's the other side of the coin in this? And then when you can find balance in both, and a lot of people say to me, Sarah, I can't find good things about that lesson. That was really bad. And I'm like, well, the law of polarity is that they are equal. So find them. You're just not looking hard enough. You're not digging deep enough. Yeah. Find them, equal value, come into center, and then it just is what it is. And there's no emotional charge. And that's a really cool, calm, beautiful place to be. Yeah, that's super grounded, super connected. Yeah, if we can stay there. So take one of your recent lessons, have a look on the other side of the coin, you know, what's all, you know, some people I say write down all the benefits. Yeah, bring it into that neutral point and let it go, let it be. Not even let it go, just let it be. It's really, really helpful. I've been navigating one of my children, my daughter's been quite sick for a really long time, and, you know, goes against all, you know, my highest value is health and wellness and healing. That's why I do what I do, you know, and it's been a real, you know, struggle to watch that. But if I sit down and I do this process and go, okay, well, she's been pulled out of her sport for a while, what's the benefit of that, you know? And there's all these incredible, beautiful things and these other friendships and these other experiences and that she wouldn't have had if she was competing. So, you know, she's had this beautiful balanced 6 months, which she's never really had. So, you know, is what it is. Yeah, bring it into the neutral point. Like, is it good? Is it bad? Well, it is just what it is. And there's all of this kind of hard, painful lessons, but then there's all of this beautiful growth. And there's all of these beautiful experiences and opportunities that are on the other side of this. So we bring it into the neutral point. And then we take away all the emotional charge of it's not fair, why me? And then we get to move on. And we don't carry any baggage with us around it. We get to move on in freedom, in peace. And that's what we have to super learn, because we do not need to be picking up more suitcases along the way right now. Yeah, we're going into a new energy, a new world, a new age, kind of whatever. Yeah, we don't want to be like picking up more suitcases. Like, this is the time for us to be dropping them down, releasing that old stuff, stepping up, not creating more. So that, my friends, is my message for you this week. And I really ask you to sit with that and maybe do some processing through, your last 3 months, what it's looked like for you, what's come up for you. And, be really nice if we can go into that eclipse season with that, at that real neutral point on things, super grounded. Yeah, and then we can kind of sit back a little bit and go, okay, like what's going to come is going to come. Universe is going to do that universal, twice a year clean out for me. Am I going to resist it? No, I'm going to sit back, relax and let it happen, rather than, being there like, trying to like control and like, no, we totally trust, like we're cool. Yeah. So there's no live sessions this week. I want you to do your own little meditations, your own sessions, yeah, your own journaling, your own writing, and have an amazing week. Yeah, it's a good week. Yeah, and it's been a while since I've said that, so like, let's super sit in that. Yeah, sending you heaps of love.